Okay. Okay. So basically what I did is I just tried to do the organization Scrum and Kanban 11-member team, sprints and releases. And then I moved it to the safe. I said iteration one, program increment and iterations, right? And you can use any framework as long as if if somebody is using Kanban and they want release on March 31st, and if other teams are using Scrum, others are using XP, the team should make sure that whatever Kanban team is delivering, they need to provide that. So that's a team agreement, right? So it's not mandatory to use only Scrum. You can also use multiple frameworks in the same project, same program, whatever it is. Any questions?
So for this iteration, any duration will be there because in the sprint we will take like 2 to 3 weeks. How about the
Yeah.
iteration in that case?
Yeah, we can fix it. Iteration maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever, right? And program increment safe suggests program increment is so it's like you can have 4 sprints, you can have 5 sprints, and you can have 6 sprints. Assuming my iteration is 2 weeks window for for 4 weeks PI program increment, you'll have how many days? 4 into 10, right?
Yes.
Right. Like that. So for 5 weeks, you have 5 sprints. For
Okay.
6 weeks, you have 6 sprints, right? And sorry, I should not be using sprint, but it's iteration, right? So you choose what you want. How is your team performing? So you can have 2 weeks, you can have 3 weeks, you have 1 week, whatever it is. Like that, you can fix the programming a bit, right?
So in that case, only the name getting replaced from the sprint to iteration. Rest everything will be remain same, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So then I'm keeping double-decker bus out at team one, team two, team three, team four, team five, right? And as I said, the team size should be 50 to 125. Then only you can go for save, right? That's a mandate because if you have only one or two teams, you don't need to no need to spend extra effort for save. And safe is also comes with a lot of overhead, right? You need to have for each team, you need to have one scrum master, one product owner, right? Then there are a lot of people you need to do, right? That also you need to take care, right? Maybe sometimes if you're lucky, one scrum master can do 2 or 3 teams, but it's not mandatory, right? So like this, then I started creating different frameworks, right? And each team will have earlier you have sprint backlog and team backlog. Here you have program backlog and team backlog. Right? Program backlog, just assume that it's a multi-storied apartment. Multi-storied apartment, you have let's say 10 buildings. Right? For 10 buildings, the water will go, and then from each apartment, it will go down to come down to each apartment, right? So like that, the program backlog will have many team backlogs, right? So this is what program backlog will have many team backlogs. Here I've used Scrum, but you can use Kanban, you can use XP wherever your team is working, right? You can have combination of Scrum, Kanban, XP, whatever it is, right? But you definitely need to manage between your Scrum team and Kanban team or whatever team, right? So any questions before we go?
So here the team backlog is like nothing like a sprint backlog, right?
Exactly. For
Okay.
example, you have .NET team and Java team, and then you have maybe database team. Whatever tickets more, for let's say the team one is a more of a Java based, right? So Java based doesn't mean it only can do Java, but it also has certain parts of .NET, certain part of database. Team two may be a .NET centric, more .NET centric, less of other things, right? So like this. So each team has its own specialty, right? Somebody may work on Informatica, somebody may work on SAP, somebody may work on something else, right? Each team has its own signature, right? and its own capabilities of that particular team. Okay, if I know, let's say I need to have like SAP related thing. Okay, I'll choose which team works on SAP. Right? Maybe some teams are so proactive, some teams deliver faster. Whatever tickets I need to close faster, I'll route it to that teams. Right?
Got it.
Yeah, thank you. So again, team level. So the names are changed in between, like version X to version Y, but concepts are still the same. Each team backlog, each team we have uh, team backlog. Like I already said, team backlog is this, and then program backlog. It draws work from program backlog, and then it comes to team backlog, and then work starts from there. You have team backlog. You can choose XP, Scrum, Kanban, whatever it is, and each team will have product owner, Scrum master, and Agile teams. Right? Your developer, testers, whatever. But usually, um, as per Scrum, you also need to talk about development team, whether it's a BA, whether it's a developer, or whatever it is. Right? And then program level, you have T, release train engineer, product management team, and system architect in engineer. Right? So team backlog, you have product owner, Scrum master. Let's say you have 10 teams into 10, right? And your team, let's say team size 10, right? 10 plus 1 plus 12. So 12 into 10 teams, you're already 120, right? And then you have your system architect engineer, product managers, RTEs, your management, your customers and all. It's a jumbo jet, right? So that's what it is. Anything so far? Any questions so far?
No, Ravi.
Okay, good. So each team, like Scrum team, you can think of replica of Scrum teams, right? And your product manager is the content authority of program backlog, and product owner is content authority of team backlog. Means he says what is to be done, what is not to be done. And ratio of product manager to Scrum product owner is 4. Product manager can support 4 POs, right? And then in Scrum Master, RT is only one in the team. RT is release training engineer. Maybe you can think of old school program manager driving everything. But the slightly in the Scrum Master and RTE are like kind of Scrum Master get into RTE, but it may not be required. Okay. Any questions here?
So mainly, what is the role of RT over here?
RTE is like super Scrum Master, right? Scrum Master works with the team, and RTE works with the entire program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay. So you have summary of you can have, let's say I have PA1 starts here, PA2 starts here, PA3, PA4, PA5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iterations. I have means 5 sprints, right? And then after fifth sprint or fifth iteration, you will start the PI. PI is the program increment. So at the team level, this iteration just works like a Scrum sprint, right? You have work here, work here, work here, work here. Like Scrum, what ceremonies you have, the same thing will be replica or will get into the safe also, right? So at Scrum level or iteration level, you have sprint planning, daily stand-up, sprint review, and sprint retrospective, or some other things, whatever team is required. At program level, you have PA planning, Scrum of Scrums, system demo, retrospective, and problem solving workshop. So you have 10-member team in the iteration, for example. the sprint planning happens, right? Every 2 weeks, you need to have sprint planning, right? Daily stand-up is daily between the teams, that particular team, right? And let's say all the 10 teams have the individual sprint planning, individual stand-ups, individual reviews, individual retrospectives, right? While coming to program level, you can have the PA planning after every, let's say here I have 5, right? So after every 10 weeks, you will have programming increment planning, right? PA planning, right? So for every 2 weeks, you have iteration planning. So just assume that it's like, so what happens in the PA planning is we actually plan the PI for 10 weeks, what kind of things you need to do. At the beginning of PI, 1 or 2 or 3, we try to see what needs to get into the next iterations. We have 5 iterations. We try to gather the data, gather the things, understand what the dependency of each of the team, that kind of planning will do. So this is going to be 2 days exercise, like 2 into 8 hours, right? That's what happens. PA plan. Scrum of scrums. Let's say you have 10 people in the team, you have 100 people, so you cannot have 100 people in the conference room, or maybe you need to book a stadium for 100 people, right? Each representative from each team may go and join the Scrum of Scrum teams. So you have 10 teams, 10 people may, 10 or 12 people, like let's say a Scrum Master or some technology guy who has a problem with other team, right? They'll try to catch up here. Right? So what is the frequency? Frequency depending on the mode of mode and size of your team and complexity of your project. Like sprint review happens after every sprint. System demo happens after every PI or in between also. System demo is combination of team 1, team 2, team 3, something like. Let's say here we are getting some output here. Only 1 or 2 teams are delivering independent thing. Maybe let's say assume that is team A, B, C, D. Whatever is required for A is done by sprint. So A is done by another team. So maybe you merge it and maybe integrate it and then demo it. Any questions? I think this like little tricky here.
Ravi, one doubt here.
Uh-huh.
So here also we will maintain the time boxing for the Scrum of Scrum meetings, because in Scrum daily meeting it will be 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
what about in Save?
it depends. Yeah, maybe
Okay.
you can choose. What happens is, let's say as we start working on it,
Hmm.
you'll have a lot of issues. Or maybe a lot of issues after a year also. Then it's like the team is no longer working on the common goal. You'll have a lot of problems, issues. Somebody goes on leave, they won't come, right? Some crucial developer will disappear nowhere, right? All the things. So it depends on, again, the frequency of meetings. It decided based on what you do. Sometimes even you will not have any data to discuss also, sometimes.
So in
You
that
can
case, it
plan.
won't be having a daily meeting, Scrum of Scrum meetings.
Comes every 2 weeks, you can plan initially. And ad hoc, you can plan any number of times, right? So I
Okay.
think SAFe does not talk about anything in that way, right?
Okay. Fine, Ravi. Thanks.
No problem. I think others also can ask, okay? No problem.
Yeah.
So I think when you are trying to get into SAFe, right? The reason I just took SAFe topic is it looks little complicated, right? And believe me, like for understanding this concept, I had to spend a lot of time. When I attended first leading SAFe in Hyderabad with somebody else, I could not understand nothing, right? And interviews were sometimes based on that. Sometimes they'll ask you some questions, right? You need to clear thoughts, clear things, like fundamentals should be clear then so that you can clear. I think Scrum, I think people can say, right, safe will be difficult, at least for beginners actually. So you need to attend multiple uh, training programs to get into clarity of it. Unless you are part of safe team, right, it's very difficult to understand why this is happening like that. Right. So there are a lot of metrics are there. And are you clear on this? Right. So we talked about sprint planning. Sprint planning happens, let's say 2 weeks. Right? PA planning happens every PA. Right? You have 4 weeks to 5 weeks to 6 weeks. Right? Sorry, four iterations, 5 iterations, 6 iterations. Right? So system demo again, he said whenever they need, or you can have a demo session, like review maybe 2 weeks, every 2 weeks for 2 weeks sprint. Retrospective is actually, let's say, every sprint you have. Problem solving workshop, you can have once in a PI, and that's what. So most of the people try to skip some ceremonies, thinking that we don't have time, but you spend more time if you don't attend this kind of meetings. As a good Scrum team or safe team, it's better to have. You need to attend all the meetings, and sometimes they say, okay, sometimes they say retrospective is not productive. I cancel it, but it won't work out. In PA, problem solving workshop is more than retrospective, good, bad, ugly. It also does a lot of other things. That's why safe is going to be very exhaustive. Any questions here? Okay. So again,
No,
program backlog. I said, program backlog here, program backlog is there. Program backlog is there, sprint team backlog is there. So yeah, program backlog will have the features and the enablers. So let's say features are, let's say it takes 40, let's say for example, 40 story points each feature is. Enabler is 100 story point. So you need to break this into feature stories or tasks and then need to put into any of the teams. Whichever team is capable of doing that feature or that story, you need to get into that particular thing. At program level, because it's so bulky, we need to split it and then keep into the sprint or iteration. Enabler, again, you need to divide it and then keep it into the sprints, right? And so ideally, this is like maybe uh, older version of safe, right? So can anybody explain me all those things? Anybody want to try?
so on the left side where we can see the Scrum Master and the product owner and the team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are the participants in the Scrum.
Mhm.
So as we have in the Scrum, we have the participants, ceremonies, events, and artifacts, right?
Mhm.
So in the Scrum, uh, what we can say, just a minute, sorry. Okay, in the Scrum events, we have in the Scrum we have uh, that product owner, Scrum Master, and the whole team, like developer,
Mhm.
testers, and architecture, and all the other team members. And when
Mhm.
it comes to events or the ceremonies, where we have the Scrum planning meeting, and we have the next the Scrum and the Scrum daily stand up meeting, and the Scrum
Mhm.
review and retrospective. And the
Mhm.
artifacts, we have the product backlog and
Mhm.
Scrum sprint backlog and the increments.
Yes. Yes. So here, what happens is, this is what team backlog is, Kanban, and then this is the PA objective, the program increment objective, and the PA planning happens here. the PA planning is exactly 2 weeks. Actually, you will have 2 weeks window for we call the inspect and adapt actually in a day. There's a 2 weeks event in that the PA planning will happen. Let me run through that. So assuming that there are only 4 iterations, right? In the 4 iterations, then your fifth iteration is IP iteration, right? So it's actually PI with 5 sprints or 5 iterations, right? So the last iteration is IP iteration. If you have 4 iterations in your PI, right? You have only 3 iterations here, and fourth iteration is going to be IP iteration, right? So let me tell you, each iteration has analysis, development, and testing, right? And then final iteration is actually no work is being done. It's more of a research and development and planning for next year, right? So this first few iterations are developmental iterations. The last iteration is going to be more of planning or study, research, or something else, right? Some kind of work, right? I'll just go a little bit down and tell you. Again, this is June version. Yeah, team 1, team 2. And the last iteration, IP iteration, again have 10 days here, right? In this leftover work, inspect and adapt. Mostly you should not do any work, any patchwork at all. Focus on how do you deliver better product in the next PM. That's what. A lot of planning will happen here. Any questions on this? I think this is going to be a little tricky.
So here also the product owner will be there to get the requirement from the business.
Yeah, program management layer, product management. So each
Okay.
product manager will have 4 product owners, right? The hierarchy is product owner, product management, right? Sometimes if you say product manager is more of backlog administrator than anything else, right? Sometimes. So if his technology is good, he's able to talk to teams and all, that will be fantastic. Sometimes, you have more work coming in, going out, moving out, product owner, maybe a backlog administrator, nothing more than that. So maybe here product owner should have the domain expertise. If you're in healthcare domain, right?
Yeah, got it.
Any questions?
And here, Ravi, like, where's the business analyst role? So is it like a product owner? He plays the
It
business
can be part of the team, maybe, right? Sometimes BA may be proxy PO. We don't know, right? That kind of thing happens. So ideally, Scrum says whoever is working on something, the development team, irrespective of QA, whatever it is. But we are so polluted that you say he's from QA, he's from testing, he's BA, right? It's a role differentiation. Maybe BA role is actually feature product owner. You can go ahead.
Got it.
There is always a confusion with this BA role. So
Yeah.
this BA role is now almost most of the BA roles, they are being replaced with the product owners only. Like they
Yeah.
are the ones like playing the role of a product owner.
Yeah. So actually, again, business analyst, maybe you work closely with the business and try to see how the requirements are there. Kind of barrier between the offshore and on site, right? So you should be able to do that. So I think in earlier days, I used to work with British Telecom, where we used to have a bunch of business analysts, front-ending customers, right? Again, whatever you think, again, pivot to authorize, okay, this is coming or not, right? This is going in or not. But again, BA role up to 10 years, right? Maybe after 10 years, you need to move to either Scrum Master or Product Owner, right? One of the problem with the industry is every recruiter knows their Scrum Master role, but Nobody knows the product owner exists or not, because the recruiters are the one who need to be get educated, but it won't happen.
Exactly. The recruiters should definitely have enough knowledge to know what exactly the roles are defined in the Scrum or the SAFe. And
Yeah.
then they need to recruit it. That is the most important point they should definitely look up.
Yeah. So most of the companies, POs are not advertised, always advertised. Maybe internal movements we need to look at. Yeah, clear with this one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, IP attention again 2 weeks, right? 10 days, right? So ideally, when we start our PA planning, before PA planning, yeah, solution pre PA planning, and solution after PA planning will be different. That's very natural, right? Similar to product backlog refinement and all, you'll have change in the way it is working. So again, RT like 50 to 125 people means you have 10 people, one SM plus PO, and the product manager is a kind of one for POs, and you have business, you have stakeholders, RT, it's going to be very huge, right? So this is what I got. So the product backlog refinement, right? PBR, right? Product backlog refinement. So the moment you're out of iteration print, this is all a new journey altogether, right? Here is team building, resolution of issues, design thinking, preparation, learn, whatever. Right? So basically, some people may use this for development, but development testing, product development, design development, but ideally you should stop. That's it. You have to put end to it. After your long development iteration, you need to focus on this one. What are the other things you can do, like other than this? Any other things we can do in this place? Maybe some people also go on leave on this place, right? So this will be like kind of low period, but if you effectively utilize this will help better PA planning. Right? So what happens in that last iteration? Like this entire thing is inspect and adapt area that happens after at this place, IP iteration. Right. Here, what happens in this last iteration? Maybe you can call it as the inspect and adapt or IP iteration, innovation planning iteration, right? Here, buffer for let go work, final verification of validation of documentation if it is releasing, innovation, PA plan release. That's a week one. Week two is solution train PA pre-PA planning, innovation continues, PA plan readiness, continuous education, in the inspect and adapt workshop to make sure are we ready for PA or not, PA planning or not at this place. PA planning day one, day two, ideally 8th and 9th days of IP iteration will be used for PA planning. So ideally 8th, 9th, 10th, if it is globally distributed, let's say your team is in Japan and then US and UK, it's very difficult with the common time slot. So you split into 3 days. So then optional time for distributed planning, solution train, post PA planning. This will be a little tricky. If you have any questions, ask. So it may be above rates.
No, it will take some time to understand
No
when it is new to us, right? So
Yeah, correct.
we have an idea a little bit,
Yeah,
not much. So on the safer side, we can say that okay, if we have when the Scrum Master is maintaining the on a small team, one or two teams, and the RTA when he is maintaining around 10 to 15 teams at a time. So
yeah,
the 15 teams are working on a one single project, and we have different features and different user stories and different or
yeah,
iterations, you can say. So
yeah,
it's a little bit easy, but it takes some time to understand actually what actually is happening, how they are
yeah,
maintaining, what are
yeah,
the different scrum meetings they are conducting, how they are chalking out or they are tailoring all the different user stories in one project.
yeah,
So yeah, it will take some time, but okay, fine as of now.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. So and again, we'll drill down to PA planning day one, day two. Right. So assuming the case study is you want to migrate uh, like physical server to on-prem server, right? For example, that's my our goal. So the CXO, CTO level, or somebody organization director comes in, sets you agenda, agenda like business context. Why are we doing what we are doing? Right? It may be very 1,000 feet level, and then say we are actually migrating from X to Y, and this is what my business proposition is. This is what our uh, ROI, right? Whatever it is, right? Then little bit down between 9 to 10:30, product solution and vision. Maybe a little bit like maybe system architect or maybe solution architect will tell you this is what. And then somebody at maybe management level tells about what architecture you're using, what is the vision of this project, what are the development practices. Development practice, maybe we are using Scrum, we are using Safe, or whatever it is, right? Planning context and lunch is what by this time the team would have entire picture of what we are doing, how many epics, how many user stories. We are already having that data with you, right? Maybe it is in Jira
So
line or maybe yeah, carry on.
sorry to interrupt you.
No worries.
So you mean to say that okay, the PA planning is equal to the sprint meeting planning, which we are going to do the before the sprint, right? So the
Kind of,
sprint, yeah,
yeah, kind of bigger version, bigger version.
yes, yes, yes. The sprint planning, the sprint meeting planning, we are going to conduct for 4 hours, right? So
Okay. Okay.
if you are going for 2 weeks, we are conducting for 4 hours, and in that 4 hours, we are going to discuss actually what are the different user stories we are taking, and what are the priority user stories, and
Yes.
what we need to work. So we are going to take. So in the same
Yes.
way, here when it comes to safe, so this meeting is for 2 days, and these 2 days, the whole team and all around 100 or 150 members all together,
Yes.
and they are going
Yes.
to discuss what
Mhm.
what they are going to plan in the next upcoming project, and how they are dividing the product into user
Work.
stories and how other parts. And
Yes.
then is it right? Yeah, what
Yes.
I'm
Correct. Correct. Exactly right. Yeah.
yeah, okay,
So
okay.
with
Thank
respect to the Scrum teams, it is like the backlog refinement that we do it for 4 hours, and it goes on in individual team level. But if there are multiple teams and multiple arts which are involved, so there are so many epics and features like should be to be discussed. So that is the reason we have this for 2 day session as a PI planning. So it's like completely similar to that of the backlog refinement, but which happens within a team level, and this happens within an like whole art level.
Exactly. Exactly.
because
So yeah. Carry on, Srinivas.
yeah, nothing. That's
Yeah.
what
So
Dasari has said. Okay, just I'm
yeah.
saying yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So basically at 1:30 to 11:30 to 1 and 1 to 4 p.m. You have planning context, what needs to be done. Kind of okay. Let's actually one other thing I mentioned I have not mentioned is usually the PA planning suggest that you have at top level, you are supposed to take top 10 features, into the PI, and then look at how many features you can work on in this PI, right? So in top 10 features, again you have each feature will have user stories and all identified, and then start discussing about it. So this is what you have the program board and information editors, where you have iteration 1.1 who is working on what, iteration 1.2 who is working, and what is the dependency between each of them. So I think this is going to be very helpful. Like, team Unicorn want this data, right? I need this team to deliver first, and this one to deliver, this one also deliver. They know this successful. So what happens in this PA planning, IP iteration is you try to prioritize between each of them. So one thing to notice, if you are not doing PA planning, you are not doing safe. That's given. So if if you don't do sprint planning, you're just pulling here and there, and then it's going nowhere, right? It's just like a traffic island, traffic police. You need to have people coming to intersection, and then they go here and there. If you are not doing PA planning, you are not doing safe. That's what I say. The PA planning is hot of the safe, right? So what we do while we are discussing this here, we also look at this board, and maybe we'll put stickers and try to move. Okay, if iteration 1.2 has to happen, we need to have teams already working on 1.1, right? That's what. If iteration 1.4 has this thing, what are the dependencies here? All this need to be checked. Red, I think red is significant dependency, and this one features, but no dependency on any others. They can do. Maybe feature is very small, right? So again, you have milestones or events where sometimes you need to have all the teams delivering something by this time. So if the feature cannot be delivered until multiple teams complete their dependencies. The feature is placed in a team swimline. You call this a swimline. Each team swims across different iterations. That's what you call, like, it's more of a common terminology, but yeah, they can use it here. So orange is a milestone event. Maybe you need to deliver something to the customer, or somebody is depending on you, whatever. Maybe sometimes this also may be dependency for other team also inside. Any questions here?
Ravi, one question. In Scrum, usually we will be having a DoD to check everything has been completed or not. So how about in the safe? It is like you mentioned like post validation will be there. That is the one DoD over here.
No, you can have, see, each sprint can have DoD DOR, and each PI can have DoD DOR, right?
Okay, yes.
So yeah, correct. It's just like, it's a framework. What you want to do, how you want to do, it's all your choice, right? Sometimes certain teams, what happens in Nagini's project, the Scrum Master may work different, and my project it may be different. It's all right, like based on the wine in the glass, right? Based on the glass, the shape of wine will change, whatever it is, right? So you can customize yourself, right? But it's better stick to safe terminology, safe wordings and all.
Okay, thanks.
So, as per my understanding, if it is some or on the safe, we'll have the DoD and DOR all. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, can you repeat? Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So as per my understanding, in a Scrum or else in the Safe, in both everywhere, when we are taking any type of item or else the user stories to work, so DOR and DOD are there, so it's mandate. So
Exactly.
anything, if even a
Exactly.
small change or small any change or any existing project or a new project, if you are thinking about something to do, so DOR and DOD are mandate for that. So as per my understanding, if I'm wrong,
Exactly.
just correct me
No,
on
no,
that.
it's fine. Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, they don't mandate anything, but it's as a new team may not have, but as we go on, we need to include DOD, DOR, right? So this is what in ideal world, your team coming to, they're putting, no, who does what, team one, team two, team three, team four. Again, the program board is information, I don't know, information ideators. Right? So again, you can go ahead. Actually, at essential safe level, we may talk about only these things, right? And then these are kind of, you can have agile product delivery, team and technical agility, lean agile leadership, lean agile mindset, right? Core values, safe principles, implemented roadmap, SPC. All these things are actually additional. I think we need to go through it. And then one thing when to go to safe is one program backlog, multiple product lines. Right. For example, you have Amazon website, you have Ola, you have Uber, whatever it is, right? So if it is either in dependency between all these teams working together, that's where you need to go with the safe. Right. If you have multiple program backlog, nothing is connected, you don't need to go to safe. Because certain teams, let's say I have 14 teams in my company. They don't even depend on each other, but very minute dependency. You may not go with the scale framework. Sometimes going with the scale framework, it adds complexity. Maybe it may add value to your resume, but not to the company, right? Assuming housing 125 people in a team, it's like, let's say we have 600 people campus. Let's say 1,000 people campus. You need to have virtual buildings, you need to have a lot of things, right? Post Corona, maybe you don't need so much space, but I think pre-Corona, we used to have a lot of things to be done. Right? So multiple program backlogs, different product lines. Yeah, Amazon, Ola, Uber, Flipkart, if they are not connected together, don't go to safe. Right? Can I avoid using safe or can I avoid using scale framework? That you guys need to decide. Safe is expensive, right? Assuming 100 engineers, just average put 10 lakhs each, thinking about it, let's say, right? 1,000 lakhs, you're talking about it. It's going to be expensive unless your customer is funding. Unless you are like company like Infosys, yes, you can go and build. Don't scale if you don't need, right? Any questions?
When mark in the companies are not mostly going on the safer side, but the companies are most of the companies are HRs, they're asking for the safe certification or safe experience.
Yeah.
So why it is like that? See, when you say that okay, it is an expensive one. So when it is expensive one, when they are not going for a safe and they are only working on the safe scale work, okay. So why they need the safe? Because unnecessarily it's an extra expense for us, okay, for
Yeah.
doing the
Correct.
certification. Yeah, I accept that, okay, if you have a safe certification, it's an advantage and it's a weightage on your resume that okay to get a job. But when they are not working, when they are not using that, okay, what is the use of doing that and what is the use of the safe actually?
Yeah. So in our company, let's say we have like 2,000 people, for example, the company, right? Not all go for safe, right? Most of them work on Scrum. They're not of dependency. But let's say if I hire say universe, I may future use him for safe project. Right? So, and believe me, CSM is as famous as safe. Right? The maybe 70-80% of companies only use safe. Right? I talk about scaled agile or scaled Scrum at scale or Nexus, whatever other frameworks. Very less people use. Not much of data in the market. But safe is because it's famous. If I hiring you, I don't want to restrict myself for only Scrum Master. I also need somebody who worked with safe, who work with multiple frameworks. Because that's my investment. I want to get a right guy into the door. Right.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Sorry, don't mind, because what are
No,
the
it's okay.
questions
It's
I have
okay. It's
just
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
asking.
it's actually you have to ask. Otherwise, it's not beneficial. Right. It's not beneficial for you. Also, it's not beneficial for me. Right. So,
Thank you. Thanks.
and then you have different roles, like your Scrum Master. Right. There's a when to go. I said when not to go. I said. Right. And this is at that essential safe. Right. And then your key concept is that art is agile release train is long-lived team of agile teams, which is along with the stakeholders, incrementally develop, deliver, where applicable, operates one or more solutions in the value stream. That's what. And believe me, SAFe has so much documentation. No framework has created so much. Right? So that's the beauty of SAFe. If you love or hate it, but SAFe is going to be fundamentally very strong of its documentation wise, right? Right. And most of frameworks don't have this kind of extensive coverage. The guy who created this, Dean Leffingwell, wrote many books on scaling and all that books. Go and buy, read different versions of SAFe, right? And one more thing is here, this is scaled agile. I think they changed the website name, framework.scaledagile framework, right? Yeah, big picture, it explains you what happens here, right?
Can
Team
can you
level.
can you drop the link of this in the
Yeah, it's there.
chat?
It's already there.
Okay, I did not see.
Yeah, I am the group, right? You're in this
Yeah,
my group. Yeah, it's there on.
yeah, yeah.
You
Thanks.
can ask me, okay?
Yeah.
And then what are the core competences? These are the core competences. You're expected to know this, And then essential safe is what we spoke. Large solution is more than two teams. What happens here is, like quickly say, from enterprise and government, each actually the safe has so structured. At any layer, you can decide. At team level, you have Scrum Master, and then RT is there. Then you have solution architect. Each layer, system architect at program level. Team level, you don't have any architect, but you have Scrum Master here. At program, at large solution level, you have solution architect. You have RT here, yes, ST, solution C, solution T, solution management, product owner, right? So everything is layer. Sometimes you can think of safe is a backlog of backlogs. So at high level, you have, say, let's go to portfolio level. Let's go to full level. Full level, you have portfolio layer, you have backlog of backlogs, a portfolio backlog. At solution level, you have solution backlog. At team level, at program level, you have art backlog. At team level, you have team backlog. So again, the version differences are there, and they have made a lot of data is captured inside. If you click on this, if you are new here, maybe click on this system architect. You have full length data. What happened in the system architect and all. And if you are new, you never entered this website, don't spend more than 2-3 minutes and come out of this. Otherwise, you will be lost. And although also mentioned some of the trainers like Neela Mahapatra and like a lot of people like talking, but a lot of trainers are there in safe world. A lot of videos are there. Go through that, right? And believe me, safe is so complex. It's very difficult you'll be get confused while like, attending interviews. For me also, it's very confusing. I think after training so many people, my data, whatever my learning got improved actually. Right. So you have to go through all these layers. What happens at the portfolio level, lean portfolio? What happens at solution delivery? What happens at the product delivery? It's all competences, right? So any questions? Actually, we have overrun by 13 minutes. Any questions?
No, Ravi.
No, Ravi, thank you.
Yeah. Maybe you can ask in the window, WhatsApp. I'll try to conduct, maybe more often.
Yes.
So again, you go drill down, right? And also, you have safe principles, right? What are the safe? So actually, if you look at this, they incorporate anything and everything from everybody, right? There are a lot of books. You can say Edward Deming's New Economics, right? You'll see a lot of data here. A lot of authors are involved, right? Here also, like you go to RTE, what RTE does, and then six Roger is so good. They have created differentiation between what is a Scrum Master, what is a safe Scrum Master, right? And try to do like exam also. That will be helpful. So what is release training and air rundown, right?
Yeah.
So do reach out to me. Like if we have any questions, we can clarify. So by the way, I'm in Hyderabad. If anybody is here, then we can catch up sometime.
Sure, Ravi. Even I'm in Hyderabad.
Good. Excellent. So any questions, guys?
No, Ravi, thank you for the session.
Okay, no problem. Take care. All the best.